Tonight on News 5 Live, the blessing of the Queen and the ancestors as a new Governor General assumes office. Doctors push back against land border reopening. And the Minister of Health fires his driver following viral video. These stories and more coming up in tonight's newscast.
Good morning, sweetie. It's time for school.
Are you a teacher or public sector employee who is thinking of owning your new home? Get the keys to your new home with Belize Bank's all-inclusive mortgage, the best financing option in Belize for your new home purchase or construction. Inclusive of all mortgage-related fees, no down payment, affordable terms, amazingly low interest rates. Visit our nearest branch to speak to one of our financial advisors to discuss how you can be one step closer to owning your new home. Some conditions apply.
It's a fact that with Smart, you get truly unlimited everything. Only with Smart, you get unlimited data anytime. While with the other guy, it's only double data on weekends. With unlimited data every day with Smart, there's no need to wait. So, it's a fact that our unlimited plans beat the competition. Stop being measured and told when to use your data and get unlimited talk, text, and data. Experience the true unlimited plans with Smart. That's a fact. Make the switch and live smart.
With the touch of a finger, we can easily unlock our phones and securely gain access to our data. This technology is called biometrics, and the Social Security Board is introducing fingerprint recognition to make transactions and handling of your sensitive data secure, fast, accurate, and convenient. Is your identity safe? Fingerprint recognition will keep your Social Security record secure and confidential while making your access fast and easy. It protects your identity. Is your name a common one? Fingerprint recognition uses your unique characteristics, ensuring your hard-earned benefits go directly to you, the rightful owner. Tired of all the paperwork? Fingerprinting makes this hassle-free. Your convenience and your information security is our priority. Fingerprint recognition coming soon. Social Security at your fingertips.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, May 27th. I am Brighton Codd. Today, a new chapter in Belizean history is being written as an indigenous woman takes on the role of Governor General. Froila Salam, an educator and Mopan Maya originally from San Antonio Village in Toledo, gave an inspiring speech during the event live-streamed to Belizeans at home and abroad. News 5's Dwayne Moody attended the ceremony in Belize City, which somehow managed to seamlessly blend protocol, cultural dances, and Mayan spirituality.
The official ceremony to pass on the proverbial baton as the Queen's representative in the country took place at the refurbished House of Culture in Belize City. The appointment of Froila Salam as the most senior diplomat comes on the heels of former Governor General Sir Colville Young demitting office at the end of April.
Her Excellency designate the Governor General of Belize, Ms. Froila Salam, brings with her more than just 20 years of experience in our rich Maya history and culture. She brings more than her master's in rural development and her anthropology degree. She brings more than the sum total of her work as an academic, her scholarly publications, and decades of experience as a community organizer, all of which makes her fully qualified for her new role.
I, Froila Salam,
Today's official ceremony saw the acting Chief Justice Michelle Arana, a Garifuna woman also of indigenous descent, stand side by side with Salam as the oath to office was proclaimed. In attendance were government officials as well as close friends and family, including Salam's husband, mother and siblings. After the Belizean flag was handed over from acting GG Stuart Leslie to Salam, she was officially made the third Governor General of Belize. She was then saluted by the military. Simultaneously, Salam's spiritual journey culminated with a traditional deer dance that was included in the official ceremonies today. In her inaugural address to the nation, which was well received by viewers on social media, the new Governor General acknowledged the accomplishments of her immediate predecessor,
Sir Colville Young and Lady Young, for their unwavering commitment to Belize for nearly 3 decades of service. Their love of music created a legacy which has been recognized by so many. I want to thank the Prime Minister, Honorable John Briceño, and his cabinet for their trust in me to serve in this high office. I also want to thank the many Belizeans who have expressed their delight and support over social media and personal notes to my appointment.
with passion and commitment to perform to the best of her ability. A humble Salam says that with this new platform, she intends to meet the people and be a champion not only for Maya people, but for all citizens of Belize.
Although we were not financially wealthy, we had our values. My parents did not raise us to see ourselves as poor. We had food and shelter. I was surrounded by family, with lots of rooms to run around, as well as chores to teach me how to be responsible. These chores imbibed in me an appreciation for the benefits of hard work. While the installation of a Mopan woman as a Governor General can be seen as a symbolic milestone, it should not be seen as willfully ignoring our colonial past. Rather, it is a new chapter in Belize's evolution as a country for all and by all. I intend to carry out the constitutional role of this office with the required diligence. It is also my hope that time will permit me to carry out more than my constitutional duties. This is an institution with its own culture. However, like all institutions, it is inhabited by people. Since my appointment was announced, I have had many requests made of me, from building bridges and roads to amplifying the voices of the people. I intend to fully build metaphorical bridges in this country, uniting all of us in the rural areas and the towns. I will use my interest in strengthening local communities to build a nation that can overcome challenges.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Ensign Melissa Jones has been selected as the new and first female aide-de-camp to the newly appointed Governor General of Belize, Her Excellency Fruela Salam. This is a proud moment for the Belize Coast Guard, and we congratulate Ensign Melissa Jones on her success and her new appointment. As the official ceremony was being streamed live, social media was abuzz with congratulatory messages for the new Governor General. Fruela Salam is the first indigenous woman of Maya descent to be named Governor General in the Commonwealth. In her message to the new GG, Commonwealth Secretary General Baroness Patricia Scotland spoke of Salam's role in the fight against COVID-19.
In these circumstances, community and environmental resilience are key as we work together towards rebuilding stronger and better. In this regard, Belize's new Governor General is uniquely placed to spearhead initiatives which can further foster the Belizean community's resourcefulness in overcoming the present difficulties. Her Excellency's background is impressive. Whilst she is a rural development and resource management specialist, her extensive work in enhancing education across the country has been truly remarkable and inspiring. This has been rooted in her strong academic background, which has endowed her with a deep understanding of the communities that make up the Belizean population. As an anthropologist and the first Indigenous woman to be appointed to the post, the Governor-General's expertise will help to deepen understanding, unity and resilience within the Belizean nation and will build on the far-reaching work that her predecessor, Sir Colville Norbert Young, has undertaken throughout his remarkable 28-year tenure. On behalf of the Commonwealth, I wish to extend my very best wishes to the new Governor-General as she embarks on this exciting journey and takes on this great responsibility.
The Sarstoon Tamash Institute for Indigenous Management, better known as SATIM, also issued a release today congratulating Salam, its former executive director, as Belize's first Mopan Governor General. The release says that, quote, "This is a significant moment in the history of our country and in the history of the indigenous peoples of Belize." It goes on to say that more than 25 years ago, 5 indigenous communities in Toledo created SATIM to advocate for the recognition of their land rights, their human rights, and their culture. Salam first collaborated with SATIM as a researcher and then back in 2014 became the executive director of the organization. The release ends by saying that, quote, "Salam brings a unique sense of history and intercultural skills to her role as Governor General, and SATIM expresses sincere gratitude for her service to her people, all Belizeans, and our country," unquote. Coming up, is it safe to reopen the borders to visitors on May 31st? We will have opposing views on this from a doctor and a government official. Stay with us.
Infinite Health presents Common Sense Herbs, everything your body needs, and are all natural, dairy-free, non-GMO, cruelty-free, gluten-free, and are FDA monitored. Everything your body needs. Distributor in Belize, Infinite Health, Birdseye, Belize City. Telephone number 613-1914. That's 613-1914.
Electricity is an essential part of our daily lives. We use lights and household appliances every day. Therefore, we must ensure our homes are wired properly. At Benny's, we have certified wires with the right gauges and insulation. BEL certified meter sockets, authentic GE and Square D panel boxes and breakers, which protect the wires inside your home from being overloaded. When wiring your home, avoid imitation brands which can be very dangerous. Give yourself and your family peace of mind using genuine electrical products available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Marvel Month is here at Brothers Habet. And for being so marvelous, all mamas get super discounts all month long, like 15 to 30% off our signature Moen lineup and 15% off Hunter fans, Sylvania LED lights and fixtures. So come on down to Barrack Road today and treat your mama marvel. Brothers Habet wishes all mamas a marvelous Mother's Day.
On May 31st, land borders will officially be open to international tourists only. The decision taken by the cabinet has been met with mixed reviews, especially so because the COVID-19 numbers in neighboring Quintana Roo are spiking and there is concern that the reopening may trigger another wave in Belize, including variant strains that have been detected in Mexico. Today, News 5 quizzed Health and Wellness Minister Michelle Habet about the decision and the rationale behind it.
We're going to be opening the north and the west and the San Pedro and the south as well. But it's going to be a phased opening. In the initial stages, it's just going to be open for tourists wanting to come into the country. And I can tell you that this has been a joint effort of the Ministry of Immigration, Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Health, making sure that we have the correct protocols in place and to try to continue safeguarding the citizenry of Belize.
Sir, you know, it's a move that is being, that's getting mixed reviews, primarily because, you know, in Cancun or in Quintana Roo, to be specific, they've been spiking. There's also a threat of a lockdown in that area. Is there a concern there?
Correctly so. That was a concern. That was a matter that we discussed and we raised in the discussions when we were deciding whether or not to open the borders. But we feel that we have sufficient safeguards within our country and we're going to have sufficient safeguards at our borders to try to stem and to keep away as much of that as we can.
While the government of Belize is moving full steam ahead with its May 31st land border reopening date, there are some health professionals who say this is too soon. In a Facebook post, Dr. Mark Musa of Belize Medical Associates said, Belize is not ready, noting the low rate of vaccinations and COVID-19 surges in neighboring Guatemala and Mexico. Musa says there is a serious risk of Belize experiencing another wave, which he warns could lead to a full lockdown. While Dr. Musa did not respond to News 5's request for an interview, his colleague at the Belize Medical Associates, Dr. Fernando Cuellar, says there are many healthcare providers who think a reopening at this time is too risky.
I think you're referring to a Facebook post that was done by Dr. Musa, my colleague right next door actually, where he voiced the opinion that indeed, like you say, we think that the way things are being done with the land borders open up is not the correct way. We, and not only him and myself, but most of us in the healthcare sector, both public and private, feel that this is a utterly big mistake to do it the way they want to do it in the next 3 days. We in the health sector know fully well what is our economic condition like in Belize, and we know that we need to open up, but we need to open up with care and with the proper things in place. So all we are suggesting to them, let us do it, open up, perhaps in the next 3 months, which is quite doable, so that we have things in place, we have proper things in place. It can be done in just days. And I want to make an appeal to our powers to be to reconsider that we do it coordinatedly with the Ministry of Health. And by the way, I know that the Ministry of Health is pushing back also for it not to happen the way that the greater powers want it to be. I want to let everybody know, and especially the people in charge, that our colleagues in the public sector are stretched thin already. Okay, they've been working from last year March. They're tired, and for them to be yet given another task like this in such short notice is not proper. And they don't have much voice, unfortunately.
You're suggesting that there aren't things in place. My conversation with the CEO of tourism. Yes, my conversation with her indicated something completely different, in that there are some similar protocols will be implemented as is at the airports?
Sir, what is on paper is not always reality. Okay? I know for a fact that the people from the Ministry of Health that says that need more time for things to be done safely. Okay? I know that from the top and from the bottom. Okay? And that's one thing.
News 5 also asked Dr. Cuellar about the chances of a new variant entering Belize, even with the protocols being put in place at the borders, and the implications for Belizeans if a variant does enter the country. He says this could be catastrophic.
If we refer to different arguments like what Dr. Musa put forward, introducing different variants and our vaccination rate to go up before that happens, those are valid arguments that needs to be addressed also. No, we would want us vaccination to be a little bit more. Realistically, we can't reach herd immunity before we open up, no, because that not happen. But we want our vaccination program to run a little more distance. And I can see if we get a few thousand tourists would solve our economic crisis. We couldn't pay a $7 million coupon last week. So we need to be careful.
Can you speak to the reality of these different variants, the reality of the risk there?
Catastrophe will happen. I mean, we can read articles, and we've been doing that exhaustively, that, for example, the AstraZeneca vaccine is now proving to be effective against it. The thought is, so we could have very scientific, intelligent discussions about whether or not our vaccinations will cover the variant. But definitely, if one get in here and have a preach, it won't take much numbers. Look what's happening in Trinidad and Tobago, for example, in Jamaica, where they have played Russian roulette with the virus, and we see who is losing right now. No, go and interview and let the people at the bottom in the Ministry of Health tell you indeed. No believe no CEO and any ministry. Okay, please.
In response to Musa's Facebook post, Minister of Health and Wellness Michelle Habet insists that his ministry can manage the land border reopening. The minister told News 5 any increase in cases will be met with extreme measures.
We've always said, and I can tell you that Dr. Musa is a part of the COVID task team that advises the Ministry of Health and in turn the government, and we are not blind to his admonitions and to his warnings. However, we feel that in the greater picture that this is something that we can handle. I assure you that if at any point we see the numbers raising to an unmanageable level, we are going to take drastic action.
Despite the cluster that was detected at the Princess Casino 2 weeks ago, COVID-19 numbers are down across the country. The data up to May 26 shows that there are a total of 78 active cases in Belize. 7 new cases were detected that day. There were 0 deaths and 5 additional persons have recovered from the virus. The casino was able to reopen today. Minister Habet speaks on the success the country is seeing so far.
We had a little bit of a concern with a spike in Belize City that we saw from Princess Casino, but the quick action of the team, of the medical team, has resulted in no widespread of that cluster, so to speak. And so the numbers are back down, and I'm grateful to the team who are constantly out there conducting surveillance, making sure that people who need to quarantine are quarantined, testing, vaccinating. So we have an excellent team out there. I think it is obvious. We can set as much regulations as we want in place, but if the public don't accept them, if the public are not receptive, and if they don't follow it, then we won't have any successes. So this is a combination of things. This is the public understanding the severity of this virus and accepting that we need to keep our distance, wear a mask, wash our hands. And so it definitely has been a major partnership, and it is attributed to them.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness continues to encourage residents who fall within the first 3 phases of the COVID-19 vaccination rollout plan to come out and get inoculated. While as a country, we are nowhere close to achieving herd immunity, Minister Michelle Habet says that over 61,000 persons have received their first jab, and 10,000 have gotten the second dose.
The vaccine rollout is coming out really well. I think there are still some anti-vaxxers out there, but the majority of people are understanding the necessity to be vaccinated. And so we're happy with what we're seeing. We continue to push hard. We want our teachers to get vaccinated. Some schools have reopened. Most schools will be reopening in September, August, September. So I'm calling on the teachers to please get vaccinated. You have the lives of the children in your hands. You are the first point of resistance and security for the children. Please come out and get vaccinated. Our immigration officers who are at the front line, please come out and get vaccinated. I know that there are some resistance to it, but I assure you that the benefit of the vaccine far outweighs any symptom that you may experience.
After the break, fake news and controversy over bus runs. The Minister of Transport speaks up. But first, here is a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
Ecological Systems Limited was established 4 years ago, July 2017, with the focus and objective to reopen and redevelop the Commerce Bight port. From the 1890s to early 1990s, Commerce Bight port was a major trading hub for Belize and provided stable income for many in Dangriga and the Stan Creek district. We are investing in revitalizing this natural deepwater port that does not require constant dredging, which harms the natural marine environment. RSL signed an initial MOU with the government of Belize in September 2018 to develop and manage the Commerce Bight port. Since then, we have had extensive consultations with Beltrade, GOB, PUC, Port Authority, the community, and other stakeholders as we prepare to implement our innovative phased development plan. Our investment in the millions to date has seen the completion of several key components of the design phase and the preparation for Phase 1 LPG landing terminal and power plant construction. This includes security assessment, engineering consultancies, structural surveys, engineering drawings, charitable and community works. In Phase 2, we will construct a cruise terminal facility on the existing pier for small cruise ships and other vessels. We are providing small cruise tour companies access to varied, bountiful natural attractions and sites located within an hour of the Commerce Bight port. RSL is giving the people opportunities to create their own businesses and provide the services tourists desire. This will lead to a multitude of investment and job opportunities in Dangriga and the Stan Creek district. Phase 3, our most important phase, will focus on empowerment of the people. This includes enhancing the preparedness and readiness of the people and the community. In regards to this component, RSL has already enacted the following. 1. We have established a community advisory board, which will empower people through local development initiatives, particularly in the areas of education, health, and economic development opportunities. 2. We will shortly commence a technical and capacity building assistance program to ensure the community is ready to take advantage of the economic opportunities that will come to Dangriga via the reopening of the port. 3. Once operational, a percentage of net earnings will go into the establishment of a trust fund, which will be used to assist with betterment of all in the community. Ecological Systems Limited has laid the groundwork over the past 3 years, and with the verification of our 25-year lease agreement approved by the government of Belize in late 2020 on the strength of our fulfillment of our MOU terms initiated in 2018, RSL is poised to revitalize the Commerce Bight port after 24 years of closure within the next 2 years, stimulating growth, employment, and community upliftment through power generation security, small cruise tourism, and organic export growth opportunities. RSL, Commerce Bight Port Redevelopment, bringing light to the south through Commerce Bight.
Bees. These small insects play a vital role in the survival of the human species as they provide us with pollination services that create our natural healthy foods, medicine, and much more. Over the years, these little creatures have been under attack. Their habitats are being destroyed, their food and water sources contaminated. All over the world, their populations are drastically declining. But there is hope. You can be a part of the change that saves these amazing creatures and our well-being. Take action and be engaged by reducing the use of chemicals, planting more flowering trees in your backyards, place water containers in your gardens, and by consuming honey from your local beekeepers. As we celebrate World Bee Day 2021, let us all support the world movement to protect this important species. This message was brought to you by the Belize Marketing and Development Corporation, CARICOM Development Fund, Ministry of Agriculture, and the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations.
Smart continues to expand its internet coverage countrywide to help you live a smarter life.
Our villagers are very happy. They are pleased to know that Smart went the extra mile to put a tower in our village so that our villagers can get live stream on their TVs and they can get their kids doing their online classes. I want to say to Smart, making it possible for us to get internet in Gardenia Village. We really do appreciate it.
Smart continues to take the internet and mobile services to communities across Belize. Now save even more when you bundle your Smart broadband with Smart mobile services. Smart, bringing people together.
The Belize Coast Guard is recreating the possible scenarios that led to a suspected drug plane crashing off the coast of Placencia in an attempt to locate its fuselage. As we have reported, authorities have since retrieved the wings and tail, but the body of the plane is yet to be found. Today we spoke to Acting Commandant of the Belize Coast Guard, Gregory Sabaranis, who told us that a team comprised of marine and aviation experts has been formed.
The Coast Guard received a call from the Joint Intelligence Operations Center that a suspected drug aircraft had crash-landed into the sea. We immediately responded to the area that was given to us, and we discovered a portion of the wing from off the aircraft.
Sir, the Commissioner of Police has gone on record to say that he believes that the fuselage has been towed away. We don't know by who, but it has been removed from the crash site. Can you speak to that? Is that what you guys are finding out on the ground?
Well, we're looking at different leads right now. A lot of information has been coming in. One being that the one that you just mentioned. However, we're looking at various possibilities. As it relates to the Coast Guard and what we're doing, we are looking at a variety of factors, and we have pulled together through the JIAC a group of experts, aviation experts, us being the maritime experts, and we're looking at how that plane came in, creating different scenarios of what could have happened, and based on that we're conducting our operation.
Commander Sabaranis was pressed further on those possible scenarios surrounding the Narco plane crash. He was asked if it is a possibility that fishermen in the area assisted in hauling the drugs from the crash site. Here is what he had to say.
We don't speculate. We don't like to speculate. We look at the facts. We look at, and all those facts, like I said, we look at sea state, sea conditions. All those factors are considered, but Dwayne, I don't want to speculate as what could have transpired. We are getting information as relates to possible courses of action that the narco traffickers could have used at the time. But at this time, we as the Belize Coast Guard, we're looking at it from various angles, working along with the police and BDF.
Earlier this week, word got around that a number of bus runs issued to operators who were deemed to be supporters of the previous administration had been cancelled. Instead, it was alleged those runs had been given to adherents of the People's United Party. According to Minister of Transport Rodwell Ferguson, those claims are fake news. He does admit, however, that there is a moratorium on the issuance of bus runs.
That is totally fabricated. We never contemplated to take away anybody's license, and so I consider it to be fake news. And so right away when I heard it, I asked my transportation team to get activated and make sure they make the correction and let the nation know that everything has remained as normal. So I don't know where the rumors came from.
Will that change anytime soon, that licenses will be held by other people? Are people applying for licenses?
What's happening right now, too many people are applying for bus license. And I don't think we have the amount of commuters. So what the Transport Board is doing, they are going through the entire process and see if they can do some rescheduling, but there should be no effect to anybody who has a bus line right now. So there will be no new operators unless they come in and apply for a run, but no big operators as I'm hearing about.
So there's a moratorium?
There's a moratorium until September when they're going to revamp the entire transportation industry. As a matter of fact, we have a planning unit right now, and we hope that within a year or two, you can see a different transportation industry in Belize.
While the existing bus runs remain intact, contracts for the transportation of students to and from school at the start of the new academic year will go to supporters of the PUP. Ferguson confirmed that this morning when he told reporters that a change of government brings with it a change in transportation providers in the education sector.
I have a big constituency, and when it comes to school buses, you know, whenever the government change, then I also have a new set of bus operators because they run for schools and the Ministry of Education. And many people approach me and ask me if I can find one source to be able to find buses for them. And so a gentleman, I can't remember his last name, he's an American, Glenn something, he approached me and said he can bring in X amount of buses to bring in new buses for the school transportation, not for the general transportation. And so I told him I have no issue. But when we apply for duty exemption, and if in sector at this time, it is not possible. So right now I don't know where it goes. The operators for school one may have to find where they can purchase their buses to provide school transportation, not general transportation.
But again, a system already existed. People already had these bus runs. Those were cancelled. Can you clarify?
Let me be very factual. There was a change of government in November of 2011. Whenever there is a change of government, those people who are running for the past administration at the education level, they are changed when their contract expires. And then new people apply who support us.
When we return, a maskless father is facing charges after railing at police who detained his maskless son. But has the viral video also cost this dad his job? Find out after the break.
Behind every great company is an equally fascinating story of how that business came to be. At Home Protector Insurance, we have one such story. In the early 1970s, Belizean-owned businesses were numbered. Few had what it took to face the challenges. But in 1974, one Belizean man, Norman Moore, faced that challenge head-on. September 4th, 1974, at number 45 Pickstock Street in Belize City, Home Protector Insurance came into existence. With a humble beginning of only 5 employees, Home Protector has blossomed to now having over 50 dedicated staff members and 28 agents countrywide. Through hard work, sacrifice, and determination, Home Protector, a Belizean-owned company, now offers multiple insurance products and has expanded into one of the foremost insurance companies in Belize. Innovation and drive will lead us into tomorrow.
Times have been challenging. Some days we feel vulnerable, scared, alone. The uncertainty of the future for our families lingers in our minds. But times like these brings out the best in all of us, revealing our resilience and strength, and bringing us together as a people, as a nation. Through partnership with the National Bank and Government of Belize, Digi developed its mobile pay solution, a safe, reliable, and convenient way for approved applicants of the Belize COVID-19 cash transfer program to collect their approved funds at any Digi store or National Bank of Belize location countrywide. Digi wants all Belizeans to know that you are not alone. We remain committed to delivering on the promise of advanced technology and innovative solutions that benefit Belizeans, instilling the hope of a brighter and better future amidst these challenging times. We are here for you.
Why, Tony?
Why, kid, where you going, man?
I actually can see we can need to buy a stack of them plastic plates and cups for my grocery shop because I run low.
Boy, I stopped importing that thing since April 15th, you know. And I just ran to the last batch, must have been like 3 weeks back, you know.
Man, do I usually have anything? What is going on?
Check this, right? Under the new law, we ban all single-use plastics, so that the cups, plates, forks, spoons, and knives, all of that. Since April 15th, can't import none of them. Starting January 15, 2021, you can't manufacture them. April 15, 2021, you can't sell them. And after July 14, 2021, if you get catch with any other thing, you will get fined.
Me never know this. I guess I have to make some changes then. I have to make new customers know that anything not available. Anyways, bro. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
Nation, rain or shine, any weather. When we go ball, we go Berger. Quality paint, no faded colors. When we go ball, we go Berger. Let your imagination run free. Any color for this reason. When we say ball, that mean it don't peel. Quality in every color, lifetime guarantee. When we go ball, we go Berger. When we go ball, we go Berger. Rain or shine, any color you need. When we go ball, we go Berger.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Andrea Polanco, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
While with the Health and Wellness Minister, we also asked about his driver, Hamid Awe, who over the weekend was captured on an amateur video in a confrontation with police officers. Awe was not wearing a mask and was recorded threatening the officers with a call to his boss, Minister Habet. Today, Habet confirmed to News 5 that Awe has since been terminated.
It's an unfortunate situation, you know, as a member of cabinet and as a minister, I cannot, what should I say, I cannot support the behavior. But as a father, I understand Mr. Awe's reaction. Mr. Awe was reacting to what he felt was his son being brutalized by the police. And so I saw his anger, I saw his fear. And so as a father, I understand why he reacted the way he reacted. However, as a citizen of this country, we must always remember that we have to respect the police, you know. And so, unfortunate in all the circumstance.
Sir, is he still working with the ministry?
No, he's not working with the ministry at this time.
He was terminated.
He was terminated, yes.
Sir,
a very drastic decision on my part. In retrospect, perhaps a suspension in light of all the circumstances. And so I think that I was very drastic in my reaction. But I wanted to send a message that regardless of the circumstance, we need to be calm and we need to be respectful to the police.
The Public Service Union is hosting its annual general meeting this weekend, during which a new executive will be elected. Offering himself for leadership is first Vice President Dean Flowers. He has been at the forefront of the trade dispute between the unions and government and plans to succeed outgoing President Gerald Henry on the front line. Flowers describes his candidacy as a natural progression in the fight against economic injustice in the face of the ongoing industrial action.
I have expressed interest to contest the presidency, Isani, and that is by virtue of the overwhelming support and requests that I've received, both from the branch chairs, the union's executive, and general membership across the country. In terms of whether or not my candidacy will go unchallenged, I cannot say. Individuals who have interests are able to accept nomination or offer themselves for nomination up until tomorrow during the business session, as it's a two-day AGM. Tomorrow we have the business session, which runs from 3 to 9, and at the end of that we will have nominations for the different available posts. So it is only up until tomorrow that we'll know whether or not I will be challenged for the presidency. Myself, as the first vice president, has been at the consultation table. I have been at the president's side in regards to every single issue that is facing this union. And so this won't necessarily be one of those transition whereby you're handing over to somebody who is not already in the belly of the beast, or who is not in the belly of the beast. I myself has been in the belly of the beast ever since the issue of the consultation with government, the trade dispute is concerned. And to be frank, I believe that I have been at the forefront of challenging this matter, which, as I've stated time and time and again, is an economic injustice against public officers across this country.
As far as the union's response to the Prime Minister's last offer, the PSU's Vice President says that a response should be put forward by Friday. Flowers also spoke on the docking of salaries for public officers who continue to strike against government beyond May 14th.
We haven't moved forward or backwards. I think we are right where we were when the government made their last best offer to us. And we will be providing the government with a response before the end of this week where that matter is concerned. Not that in that letter or in that offer they requested a response from us. But we believe that we have a right. We believe that as a partner in the running of the public service and as the victims of economic injustice, we have a right to speak out, and that we will do, and I'm pretty quite sure that the media will be apprised of that response once we deliver it to the government as the Prime Minister delivered it to the unions.
Those who have been participating in the industrial action stand to face a salary cut, a docking of their wages based on their participation post May 14th. Can you speak to that?
Well, that is what is contained in the Prime Minister's final best offer. I want to take this opportunity to salute the thousands of teachers that continue to be out there because they believe in their conviction. They believe that it is unfair. They believe that this is an injustice against them and their family, and they continue to stand firm. I also want to take this opportunity to salute the public officers who have equally taken that stance. It's a beautiful show of democracy, and it's a beautiful show when you can see people are determined to sacrifice their livelihood for what they believe in.
A letter written to the executive of the Public Service Union in November 2020 went into circulation earlier today, purportedly to malign the leadership of the union's Belize City branch. The letter follows a financial report put together by a former treasurer of the PSU. According to Dean Flowers, the letter as well as the report are both misleading and are aimed at disparaging the Belize City chair.
I want to state clearly that report is a false report. It's a misleading report, and that is not the Belize City branch report. The Belize City branch report was prepared and submitted by the former treasurer, and that report will be laid before the general membership on Saturday. The report that was put out there is a misleading and false report that came out last year in November 2020, right before the Belize District branch elections. The report was prepared, and accompanying letter was submitted and circulated in the media and to general membership right before the Belize City elections last year, which occurred earlier this year, in an effort to mislead and disparage and defame the current Belize City branch chair. It backfired, and it backfired terribly, because the Belize City branch chair was able to defeat those that put out that disparaging report and misleading statement almost 3-1. And so I must applaud the good sense that prevailed by the Belize City branch membership.
The first Belizean to be elected to the Commonwealth Youth Council is a 24-year-old young woman from Southside Belize City. This week, CYC announced that Dominique Norales was elected as the regional representative for the Caribbean and Americas. The Commonwealth Heads of Government recognizes CYC as the official voice for over 1 billion young people within the 52 Commonwealth nations. Established in November of 2011, a Belizean has never sat on the council.
As a young Belizean, the second Belizean to contest for this post, actually the first to win, there are no words.
Dominique Norales will represent the Caribbean and Americas as a liaison officer between the Commonwealth Youth Program and the Commonwealth Youth Council. She succeeds France George from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
A lot of times we get drowned out in the world stage, but I think he did a lot of work in that respect, making sure that we exist and that the national councils, which are a huge part of the core really of the Commonwealth Youth Council, making sure that we get the requisite training. One of the things that is a sort of downfall of national councils is that many young people come into uninstitutionalized spaces, and then we ourselves don't have the capacity to lead. And so that was a huge part of his work, making sure that young people get the capacity, build their own capacity, but also that they have an institution to walk into that is made to succeed.
Norales is hopeful that one day she will be given the opportunity to represent Belize as a parliamentarian. Her election to the Commonwealth Youth Council is another step towards that end.
I don't think it's a secret at this point. Everyone knows my affinity for public service and for, of course, like I mentioned, politics and elections. It was really one of the most heartbreaking things to not be home for two of the most recent elections that we had. But of course, I don't know if it's natural progression, and I tell people that I don't know if it was peer pressure, if it was actually me who wanted politics, but I think this is where I belong.
As a product of Southside Belize City, home to some of the most impoverished and underprivileged communities in the country, Norales says she intends to use her success to make successful individuals of Southside youths.
I know that the young people of the Southside of Belize City, we face a lot of challenges, a lot of things, and a lot of decaying social systems, from families to church to school. And so my success is something that I don't take lightly, and I think it's not even something that I could call success yet. And I get very emotional because I'm thinking of all the young people who haven't made it, people who I grew up with who are now deceased. And so spaces like this and opportunities like this are ones that I don't take lightly, and make sure that I carry all the people who I have grown up with, who who are struggling to make it, who have not made it with me. And that's what keeps me focused and centered.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Norales says she is also interested in expanding the knowledge of her Garifuna culture and people through this global platform. Just ahead, you saw the ceremony. Now see the fabulous food that followed. A Belizean chef is inspired by Mayan cuisine when we return. But first, here is the weather forecast. Here is the weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
One year ago, an invisible but deadly virus altered our way of life. Upon assuming my responsibilities as Minister of Home Affairs, over 190 members of the Belize Police Department had contracted the virus. And regrettably, 2 of our heroes in uniform lost the battle on the front line of this pandemic. Today, I can proudly say that there are no reported cases within our department, and this is directly attributable to the phenomenal work of the healthcare workers and the team over at the Ministry of Health and Wellness. We are in this together. I believe in the COVID-19 vaccine. This is our chance, our opportunity, our window to return to normalcy. #GetVaccinated_Belize.
It is my time
to protect your life.
Don't wait to vaccinate.
I believe in the COVID-19 vaccine.
The vaccine is the best way to protect lives.
Don't wait, vaccinate.
Don't hesitate, Belize.
Vaccinate. Be COVID-19 safe.
If you care,
love them.
Protect them.
Vaccinate them.
Es un hecho. Únicamente con Smart obtienes todo realmente ilimitado. Solo con Smart obtienes datos ilimitados en cualquier momento. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo son datos dobles los fines de semana. Con datos ilimitados todos los días no hay necesidad de esperar, así que es un hecho que nuestros planes ilimitados superan a la competencia. Por lo tanto, no permita que le digan cómo y cuándo usar sus datos. Y obtenga llamadas, mensajes de texto y datos ilimitados. Vive la verdadera experiencia de planes ilimitados con Smart. Es un hecho. Haga el cambio y viva Smart.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Immediately following the official ceremony for the installation of Royal Salam as the new Governor General of Belize this morning, a reception was held at the House of Culture. The event boasted flavorful dishes, all Maya-inspired, with a unique twist from renowned chef Sean Cullen.
It was a feast fit for a queen. Well, not the queen, but the queen's representative and new Governor General of Belize, Royal Salam. So to give homage to Salam's cultural heritage, Chef Sean Cullen headed to southern Belize to get the inspiration for the 11 uniquely made and plated dishes that were served today.
I went on a culinary journey for the last 7 days
I've been sourcing things way down. I almost got into Guatemala through Halacte. I traveled from, I made white lime on the Hummingbird Highway. I got Obel, I got Hute, I got, we're making lancha, which I have a list of things. I get fish from Hopkins straight from the 6:30 in the morning. We have an extensive 10 course here. As a matter of fact, it's 11 courses because we have the pinole. But if you want to hear, it's authentic from her. I sex it up.
Chef Sean is known to travel the country, experiencing the rich cultures of Belize and creating authentic cuisine with an international twist. It is documented on his social media platforms. But for this event, he collaborated with Claudia Saki, a Maya Mupan woman from Maya Center in the south.
Whenever we have an event, the culture will dictate what I cook. Today is a special occasion. Miss Froila Salam happens to be a Mopan Maya.
I get it from the village. I kill it, I clean it, local chicken, the grind pepper, I did it, and the coffee, everything. And the sweet tortilla, the chukwa he's talking about, I get it from the farm, shell it, cook it, make it into the little biscuit. That's right. Then the ubel, he used for the fish you get in Hopkins. That's what I did.
Pinole.
Oh, the pinole.
Chocolate.
The pinole, I had to roast it. After I roast it, I cool it down for 4 hours. Then we grind it, and they roast the cocoa, the same thing, the black pepper and the other spices I use in there, and then.
How long this process take?
It takes like a week.
From a deconstructed tamales with turkey, cheese, and roasted veggies to an atole and a dessert version of a garnachas or tostadas that uses sweet corn, a chocolate ganache, mint, and flower petals. Chef Sean and his team's Maya-inspired cuisine was fit for royalty.
This is a hute, and a hute is a river snail. And we took a little bamboo skewer, put some corn and atole, which everybody knows atole is corn. And in Garifuna, we take cassava that needs saho. And but this is a sexy shooter, and then you pop it in your mouth and everybody say, wow, but it's really what we've been eating for many years, sir. Do you see how you have anthropology of the study of what? The culture and food and people. I mean, this is almost food anthropology, and it's unofficial because I'm documented. We don't have a book to say this or that and that or this. I have to ask the lady. And then just now when I got out there, Mrs. Salam's mom sat with me and she said, this is bringing back memories because connotation is powerful. If you may live, the people that are watching this newscast that are living in the diaspora, they smell tamales leaf, they remember their childhood, right? They start to worry because, as a matter of fact, I have a tattoo called no barcode because when we cook, we don't cook with barcodes, sir. We don't cook with things from a label. We cook from the land.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
In Belize, June to November is synonymous with storms and hurricanes. It is, after all, the tropical hurricane Atlantic season. With June 1st just days away, on Wednesday, the National Emergency Management Organization and National Meteorological Service in the Ministry of Disaster Risk Management provided key information for the public during a conference in Belmopan.
So that's the prediction. It's going to be an above average season based on most of the agencies. In terms of the probabilities for Belize, this is done by the Colorado State University. They're saying, based on the forecast for 2021, we have a 55% chance, which is high. Right? That number might look low, but that's a high. 55% chance that we have at least one named storm tracking within 50 miles of the country. Right? What is the long-term average? 40% probability. So if 15% higher, the chances is 15% higher this year than normal that we have a named storm coming near us. In terms of a hurricane, that's 27% compared to an average of 18. And in terms of major hurricane, 8% compared to an average of 5%. Those numbers might appear small, but when you put it when you look at it in terms of the impact, then it becomes significant.
While the forecast cannot tell us if or how many storms will certainly hit Belize, this general prediction tells us that it will be an active season across the basin. And that's why NEMO's national coordinator, Shelton Defoe, says that they remain in a state of readiness, stepping up their preparedness efforts across the country.
We embarked since January on inspecting the shelters around the country, district by district, to produce a list. That list now is being vetted by the National Housing and Shelter Committee, whereby by the weekend going into Monday, it will be finalized. and the list will then be made public. We have been digging drains in several parts of the country, as stated there. We are improving our communication system. Where down in the south, we have put in repeaters so that we could use very high frequency radios, emergency radios, to broadcast amongst certain communities. We have started the process of making sure rivers are starting to be clean and cleared. We have been conducting meetings and training countrywide. Since February, we have updated the family emergency plan and our COVID-19 protocols for evacuation and shelter. We have embarked on, with the direction and support from the Minister and the CEO, the restocking of our warehouses. We have 5 warehouses countrywide. The NEMO system for 2021 in terms of readiness, preparedness at the national and the district level, where committees are meeting and working through and identifying the challenges, issues, and logistics that they need. From that perspective, we are better prepared, and that is the leadership of the NEMO system.
The National Meteorological Service is at the heart of educating the decision makers and the public. Chief Meteorologist Ronald Gordon says that while the radar isn't working at the moment, they do have a number of other tools available to use.
We went through a very, very busy 2020 season without the radar. And using all the tools and resources that we have, we were able to track these systems quite, I say, satisfactorily and alert the public. So even though we consider the radar to be a very important tool for us, we have different assets at our disposal that we use. We can more pinpoint the location of the hurricane and where it's going to go, with improvement in hurricane models, observations, and that type of thing that has occurred over the years. I said track forecast has improved. Intensity forecast remains a challenge. So we can tell you almost, not precisely, but with some level of confidence, where the storm is headed. The question remains, how strong will it be when it gets there? And that's still a challenge.
Another challenge that NEMO is navigating is the issue of shelter and COVID-19 considerations.
We have more shelters in terms of last year and the year before, but we have less space because of COVID-19. So 10 persons per classroom reduces the space significantly. When you used to put 30 persons in a classroom, you're now down to 10. So 66% of your regular space capacity that you have totally lost, you know, due to COVID-19. And so we look at privately owned buildings that could be used as reserve but not placed on the national shelter list, that if you have overspill, then we call upon those owners. But it is a challenge. We will not mislead the Belizean public by saying that it's all fine and dandy. This is one of the biggest challenges of NEMO in terms of shelter space, making sure the buildings are suitable, because they're not NEMO owned.
In 2016, when Hurricane Earl made landfall as a Category 1, NEMO says that they had to repair some 2,500 roofs and rebuild over 300 homes. And so NEMO advises that we must play our part in safeguarding our lives and our property. And that starts with having a hurricane preparedness plan and building more resilient structures.
The team for NEMO is to ensure you have an emergency family plan. You could be the camera operator, you could be the taxi driver, you can be a public officer. It doesn't matter who you are. That plan can be 3-4 things written down, stick on the side of the refrigerator. This is our plan. We will notify grandmother, we are stock up on water, whatever food we might be able to buy and purchase, understanding these times that we're in. You know, we are secure the building, we are prepared to move to the shelter to safeguard our lives, whatever it is. And obviously with COVID-19 at the center, making sure the plan feature COVID-19 preparedness in terms of whether it's vaccination, social distance, face mask, having a hand sanitizer, etc. Listen to your radio and television. What we have seen a lot in Belize, if you look to those hurricane clips, I'm getting pictures from around the country when there's a thunderstorm, what we call freak storm. Wind gusts, 30 miles, Chief? Maybe 20, 25, 30 miles per hour. Wind gusts for maybe 15, 20 minutes, thunderstorm with rainfall. And complete roof failure. People are losing their roof. And that shouldn't be happening. These clips sell for less than $2 at hardware store that can help anchor your roof. One of the things, again, along the coast, if we are going to build along the coast and rivers where storm surge could occur, build smart, allow the water to run through. This should be made of very weak material so it just washes away, but the structural integrity of the house remains intact because the walls are not concrete where the wave will push against it and push down that house.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I am Brighton Codd. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.